Here we have some problems with sums, and they use this complex looking sigma notation. Let's walk through what this sigma notation means. Here we have two sums actually in parentheses, so you're going to have a sum and another sum and then multiply them together at the end. In the case of this first sum here, it says j equals 1 at the bottom, so that's your starting point, and then 10 at the top. So you're going to have 10 steps, so 10 of these x sub i's to add together. And in this case, instead of there being a formula here for x sub I, we just have a chart. So we've got the numbers. We know that x sub I when j is 1 is 2. And when it's 2, it's 3, and so forth. So to get this sum, we would just add up all these x sub i's and get that number. Over here, we'd do the same thing for y sub j, just add up all of these numbers. And then at the end, we need to multiply them together because the two sums are multiplied together. That's a lot of adding and multiplication, and if you're just punching this out on a calculator, it's easy to get lost along the way with so many steps or to make a mistake. So I would recommend using a spreadsheet like Google Sheets for this, and I've set one up with the data. So let me take you over there. So here's the data, and remember for this sum we have to add up all the x values first, and then add up all the y values, and then multiply those two numbers together. So let's add up all the x values. To do that, I might click into this cell over here and type in equal sign, which is what you do to begin a formula. And the formula for adding values together is the sum formula in spreadsheets. Here, we're already getting a suggestion. It figures we want to add these. So great, it goes from cells B2 to K2. You can see those highlighted on the screen. I'm just going to click that and then hit enter. And there we go, 123, that's added together. Because I want to add everything and that formula is already up here, I can just copy this and paste it down here. And you see, it didn't paste the 123. What it did was it pasted the formula, but it changed the cell designations because it knew we wanted to be on that same line. So copy and paste works well here. So we've added up all those numbers. We know as long as we entered them correctly here, we know the addition's right because the computer's doing it. Now we just have to multiply these two. You could do that on your calculator. I'm going to do it here. I'm just going to press equals and then click the first cell and then type in an asterisk because that's what multiplication is here in this spreadsheet, and then click the second cell and hit enter. And boom, there we go. 14,268 is the value of that sum. Let's try the other one here. Now this is slightly different. Here we have x sub I times y sub j. So we're going to take these two values at each step, 1 through 10, multiply them first, and then add them all up. So both of the x and y are inside the same set of parentheses. We're going to multiply them and then add everything up. So we're basically doing 2 times 16 plus 5 times 2 plus 6 times 13 all the way to the end. Again, I think it's easier to do that with a spreadsheet. So I've typed in the data here. And in this case, we want to multiply first. So I think I'll use this cell right here, type in an equal sign, and then hit the first cell, type in an asterisk, and the second cell. And yep, 2 times 16 is 32, so that looks like it's working. And now I don't have to do that over and over again. I can just copy, hit the forward arrow, paste, it's working, and paste, and paste, and paste. So with copy and paste, you can really do a lot of calculations quite quickly. Now, after we've multiplied all these, we want to sum them up. So I'm going to type in an equal sign again here. And again, it suggests the sum. So I'll accept that. And we've got 1891. So as long as I typed in the data correctly, all those calculations are pretty much foolproof. So this is a great way to get through this assignment without making a lot of silly mistakes. I want to show you two other problems that are pretty much the same. Here we have an x squared, an x sub I squared in here. So what that means is, in this case, there are no y values in our sum, so we're just going to ignore that part of the chart. What this is telling you to do is square x all through these values and then add those squares all together. This one looks almost the same, except the squared is outside the parentheses. So you're going to take all these values for x, add them together, and then square the total. So those are the two basic types of problems in this assignment. I wish you luck.